Let me just reiterate the President's statement this morning of our strong support for the democratically elected government of Georgia, for its territorial integrity and its sovereignty, that Russia must now end its military operations. There are concerning reports from around Georgia that Russia has not, in fact, in accordance with the pledge that it took to the French presidency, to President Sarkozy, that Russia has not ended its military operations. Those operations must stop, and must stop now. You also know that the President has asked Secretary Gates to oversee a humanitarian mission that will be continuous and robust, led by the American military. We expect that Russia will respect the humanitarian nature of that mission, and that ports, sea lanes, air routes will all be open for humanitarian purposes, another pledge that Russia has undertaken to the French. And you know as well that I am going to leave this evening, first to meet with the French President and other members of the French government in France, and then I will fly on to Tbilisi if indeed Russia is violating a ceasefire. And I have to say that the reports are not encouraging about Russia's respect for the ceasefire, for the pledge that it undertook. That will only serve to deepen the isolation into which Russia is moving. It will only serve to deepen the very strong growing sense that Russia is not behaving like the kind of international partner that it has said that it wants to be. And it's very clear to me that the consequences of that, which are already quite significant, because the way that Russia has brutally pushed this military operation well beyond the bounds of anything that might have related to South Ossetia, calls into question Russia's suitability for all kinds of activities that it has said that it wants to be a part of. And so we'll get to that matter in due course. Right now, the key is to remind Russia that it has an obligation to stop its military activities, remind Russia that it is not to further engage in activities that threaten the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Georgia, that it should drop the language concerning the democratically elected government of Georgia that has been thrown around by some Russian officials, and that it's time to stop this so that Russia can begin to dig out of the hole that it's gotten itself into.